Welcome to this Fusion tutorial where I'll be showing how new material can be added into a custom catalog using the Catalog Editor. This tutorial assumes the user is familiar with Catalog Editor. I have already checked my catalog out in Connect and have opened it within the Catalog Editor, and I'm going to go into my first step, which is importing the image so that it is available to create a new material. I just double click on my images, go to my options menu, select create new item, and then select load image. The image that I'm going to be using is saved on my desktop and is a JPEG file, so I need to use this little pull down menu and select JPEGs, and there I have the mahogany wood grain. An important thing to know about custom images is to make sure that they're tileable, and by this it means that the top and bottom will seamlessly tile if the image was placed one above another, and the same for left and right. Alright, so once I'm happy with that image, I'll just give it a name. I'm going to call it mahogany, and I'll say OK. I can then close that image window. I need to then open my color table where I will create my new material by double clicking on materials. Again, I go to options, create new item. It will give a new ID for the material color. I'll just say OK. I'm just going to call it custom mahogany so that differentiates from other grains that I've already pre-made. And what I want to do now is just in this area give it a basic color. We can go into our color table here, just so that when we filter through in Fusion it shows up with the basic idea of what the color is going to look like. Okay, what we want to do now is select our shader type. The one we're going to be using is called a wrapped image. So I push on that arrow button to get my pull down menu, and over here I will find wrapped image. Once I select that, I need to choose the file name that I've just imported. So I just click on my ellipsis button. Okay, so my images have loaded. Just find the material that we've imported, and I'll do that by just clicking in the window and typing in the name. There it is, mahogany. Select, and I'll say OK, and here we can see the material has been added to the object in our preview window. Right, now what we want to do is give this object its reflective properties. I'll select on the reflectance, and if you wanted to have a wrap type feel, the best reflective property to pre-one is to use plastics. You can see that the image has gone dark, and that's because my ambient factor is at 0.1. Just need to change it to 1, and we will have the right type of brightness. You can play around with these different values to see what kinds of effects you can get. Changing the specular value will create less of a bright circle in that area there. So if I have to change it to 0.05, you'll see that almost but all disappears. And then we change it back to its original value. Okay, so this reflectance shader of plastic will give the image almost a plastic feel. If I'm wanting to make a glossy image, the reflectance shader that I use for that is mirror, and what I need to change on this is the specular and mirror factor. If I change the mirror factor to 0.1, you can see that it has a glossy feel, but you'll still be able to see the wood grain behind. And I also like to just change my specular factor to 0.05, so it's not quite as bright. Alright, so if I say OK, we'll see that our custom mahogany image has been created and is now available within the Fusion QM catalog when I check the catalog in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to close up, check my catalog in, open a design in Fusion, and then we can test it out. Okay, so I've checked my catalog in the Connect screen, opened a new design, and I've added a floor back panel along the length of my wall. I'm going to go to my change menu and select change color, double click, and if I go into my filter I can just type in the name of the new color that I've created, press my tab button, and there we have custom mahogany. I will say OK and OK. Then go into my perspective view and select my future vision render, and there we have our new custom mahogany color created in the Catalog Editor. Thank you for viewing this tutorial.